First, the White House says President Biden is not considering stepping down amid growing concerns over his debate performance. The president met with more than 20 Democratic governors, aiming to calm concerns over his mental fitness. ABC's M. Wynn has more as Biden gets ready to sit down with our George Stephanopoulos tomorrow for his first television interview since the debate.
A defiant President Biden standing firm despite calls from some congressional Democrats for him to step aside. The president on a Wisconsin radio show.
I screwed up. I made a mistake. That's 90 minutes on stage. Look at what I've done in 3.5 years.
The president trying to turn the spotlight on Donald Trump, previously pointing to the former president's numerous lies on the debate stage.
I got a guy I'm running against who's embracing political violence, pledging to rule as a dictator on day one.
In a meeting last night with nearly 24 Democratic governors, the commander-in-chief sought to reassure concerns.
It was a great conversation with the president and vice president because it was honest. It was candid.
President Joe Biden is in it to win it.
Sources say the president also told state leaders he had a medical checkup following the debate and was given a clean bill of health. The White House confirming this morning that Biden was seen to check on his cold, aligning with what we're told the president said, but contradicting Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre yesterday.
Has the president had any medical exams since his last annual physical in February?
And we were able to talk to his doctor about that, and that is a no.
He hasn't had any kind of medical exam?
No.
This comes as sources tell ABC News the president has privately acknowledged the next few days will be critical in determining whether he stays in the race. They say Biden believes he's still the best candidate to defeat Trump, but that he's keeping an open mind about the path forward.
And Wynn, thank you. And White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks joins me now for more on this. Mary Alice, we heard the White House press secretary say the president had not had any medical exams since the debate. Now the White House says he has seen a doctor. How are they explaining this?
Yeah, Dan, I think that this is really significant. This is a moment where Americans are wondering about the president's health. Put aside questions about his candidacy, his reelection bid, calls for him within his own party to drop out as the nominee. Right now, there are many Americans wondering if he is okay and if he can be the commander-in-chief today, especially after what they saw on that debate stage. So when the White House press secretary was asked specifically if he had been examined by a doctor, and she said he hadn't had any tests, we are now learning that they were really splitting hairs there because the president behind closed doors told governors, we've learned just last night at that meeting he had here at the White House, that he did see a doctor a few days after the debate. The White House is trying to backpedal. Like I said, they're trying to split hairs, say that they were making a distinction between seeing a doctor or having additional tests. But this is messy, and it does not help Americans, I think, feel comforted that they're getting straightforward answers about the president's health, Diane.
And Mary Alice, the president has also done some radio interviews ahead of his interview with George Stephanopoulos tomorrow. What's the feedback on how he did in those radio interviews?
I mean, the reality is radio is not in front of a camera. I mean, that's the difference of what we do, right? And I think that there's a lot of questioning among Democrats, among advisors, among people I've talked to on Capitol Hill about how the president appears in unscripted formats. That is what makes a debate different. That's what makes a television interview different. There is something different about when you can't have note cards, you can't have a teleprompter, you have to speak off the cuff. And I've heard from so many Democrats that they really think if the president is going to calm nerves, if he's going to be able to turn a page, he has to show the American people that he can handle those unscripted moments, and radio interviews just aren't that. So that's a long way of saying they are frustrated that his first response is to do more of these radio interviews. They want to see him out there more. A lot of Democrats very encouraged that he is doing that interview with us, with our George Stephanopoulos, but they're going to be looking very closely to see if he is able to calm nerves, sort of how he is able to present himself during that interview. It is critical, Diane.
All right. It sure is. Mary Alice Parks, thank you.